சார் கொடுப்பா உள்ளே கேட்குற கிட்ட வந்தாரு இது கிட்ட வர முடிச்சுங்க படிக்கிட்டு வர எந்த இடத்துல வர
Good morning, friends. Vanakkam. Namaskar. We are all here to, obviously, people take it as a ritual that we have to garland Mahatma Gandhi's statue in the campus. And we are doing it year after year, repeatedly. But the important thing that we have to really keep in mind is that it is not a ritual. We do it every year to remind ourselves that here is a great soul which is appreciated not only in our country, all over the world. Last year also I had said it, go to any country in the world, at least I had the privilege of traveling to many, you will not find a single country, smallest country like Ivory Coast or Seychelles or any other small nation, there also you will find something in the name of Mahatma Gandhi, either a street or a library or a university or a study circle, something will always be there. So what we need to ponder over is that what was so great about this gentleman. If you look at his personality, he was a very frail, weak-looking gentleman. You could literally count his ribs. And the attire that he would invariably wear after he shed those Britishers-style clothes was a plain dhoti and nothing else. That's about it. And a lathi in his hands. So what made him take him to a place where everybody remembers him? There must be something, and that's what we need to really think of, and that's what we need to convey to our young friends, that here is a soul, and we are fortunate that we are having Mahatma Gandhi in our country. What is it? Now, if you just analyze and guide our youngsters that if we keep his ideals in mind, I think our country will be heading to become not one of the greatest nation in the world, because the inherent strength that India has, probably no other country has in the world. The diversity and the rich conventions, styles, religions, philosophies. No other country will have that. And if you analyze all those, what Mahatma Gandhi did was that all these conventions, philosophies, and religion of the word that were there, he converged everything into one philosophy that one should be a Karam Yogi. There is no substitute for hard work. One should be dedicated, honest in one's own self. It was Mahatma Gandhi who said that God stays within, and you have to be honest to yourself. Whether somebody looks at you or not, what is important is that you need to look at yourself, whether you are really performing your work sincerely or not. And there have been many economists in the world, there have been many philosophers, but if you again look at what they did, Mahatma Gandhi did it when he started this movement of Satyagraha. Mahatma Gandhi said that the best unit, if a country has to progress, has to be the smallest entity that you rely on, and that smallest entity in a country is a village. He said, take this village as an entity for development, and if that entity can be developed further, you will find that the whole nation will develop. And that's what we teach our students in science also, that smallest entity of the world is an atom. Maybe you can take it further down. But we also teach them atom cannot be destroyed. That will stay, and it is the combination of those which will become a building block ultimately to any other material. The strongest material that we make, it is also a collection of these atoms, organized in different directions, different ways. And that's what Mahatma Gandhi said, that if the smallest entity you can strengthen, then your country will obviously be strengthening. And if you think that you go by American philosophy, that no, the country should be strong, you develop aircrafts and whatever they have done, and neglect that smaller part, your country will crumble. If the smallest part is not strong, then the whole structure would crumble ultimately. And that, if somebody tries to teach or analyze, you will find was the greatest strength of Gandhian philosophy. And that is one of the reasons probably many of you might not have analyzed, might not have pondered over, that when we hold any important examination, competitive examination, where we are looking forward to some young minds, you would find that Gandhian philosophy is one where people are asked questions, and if somebody is strong in this, students tend to do very well. So the purpose of The very purpose of our coming here year after year is to strengthen our resolve that we hereby take a pledge that we shall continue to follow the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi in the truest spirit of this. That is important. Saying that I am a follower of Gandhi, many politicians you will find talking about it, but in their real practice what they do everybody knows. So therefore if we follow this, I think nobody can look at our country with any ulterior motive, and we will be strong enough to face the whole world, all challenges in the best possible manner. So I greet all of you. I wish you all the very best on this day with an appeal, maybe with an urgency that we need to follow Mahatma Gandhi's ideals. And this is a day that reminds us that here is a great soul which once walked on the annals of a great country like India. It's not a country, in fact, it's a civilization if you look at it. The whole philosophy of Indian religion, Indian thought, Indian sects, Indian diversity is the philosophy of Gandhian thoughts that we need to respect. We need to respect ourselves, we need to respect our society, and we need to respect every individual that we come across. If that is done, I think probably we are in for a great time. So this is a day which reminds us, and we rightly, very rightly, come here year after year to pay our respect. We always say that here is a land where once upon a time Lord Jesus walked, Lord Krishna walked, Guru Nanak walked. We remember that way, but Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy is a culmination of all these thoughts into one, and that's what has given us the real strength. So let's take a pledge that at least whether somebody forces us or not, we in our own self will follow these ideals, and if that is done, probably we are in for a great time. Thank you very much for sparing your time to be here to pay respect to us. Thank you. Let me take a minute more. Amresh was kind enough to remind me that there is another great gentleman whose birthday we celebrate today. That was Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri. And when people were greeting me on my birthday today, which happens to be coincidentally same day, I thought I'll share that because I don't do much fanfare on my birthday for two reasons. One, this great man's birthday is there. Lal Bahadur Shastri's birthday is there. Martin Luther King's birthday is there. Meena Kumari's birthday is there today. So there are many. So you have all greeted me. I whosoever has done it and whosoever has not done it, I take this humble greeting from everybody in a very modest manner, and I am grateful to everybody for doing this to me. But what I wanted to talk about was about Lal Bahadur Shastri. Mahatma Gandhi was a great person, there is no doubt about it. Lal Bahadur Shastri was also no less, let me tell you. If somebody has followed Gandhian ideal in the true letter and spirit, it was Lal Bahadur Shastri. As a minister, he was given a bungalow, and his wife used to cook herself. His son would go and buy the groceries himself. And one of his sons, when he was trying to take admission into a college where I studied, his father told, you go and queue up and give the application form. When he reached there, there was a long queue of about 200 odd students. And he rang up his dad, he said, look, there is a long queue, can you tell somebody to help me out? He says, why should you be helped? There are other 200 who are standing in the line, they are also your brothers and sisters. So you better be there, do it yourself, and then come back. And we have seen that gentleman traveling in bus. It's something unthinkable, unimaginable, in fact, in these kind of days. And not only that, let me tell you also, when he bought his first car, which is still there, a Fiat, he took loan from bank to buy his car because people used to say, you are the Prime Minister, you don't have your own car. So that's the kind of level of honesty we had heard and read about this great soul, Lal Bahadur Shastri. And when he was a railway minister, there was a rail accident, massive rail accident, and he felt so bad that very next day he tendered his resignation. How many of us would think of such a thing? When this happens, people start blaming others that, well, our juniors did not do a proper work, rather than owning up the responsibility. So Lal Bahadur Shastri was one who set a tone for India to become self-reliant. Many will not agree, many may not know, but those real economists who have carried out the study, they will bear with me on what I am making this statement as, that he was the one who set a tone for our self-reliance on food production. You would know that on both sides of the railway track, 16 feet this side and this side used to be railway land. And he said, our country cannot afford to waste this. So wherever this land is there, I would urge all the farmers to occupy this and start growing food in this. And that year, there was a massive increase in the food production. 1965 onwards, there was a sudden jump in our food grain production. Then the policies which they ultimately led to where we are now. And he gave this slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. He says, you are remembering the Jawans. Another force which serves our nation with utmost sincerity is our Kisans. That's a different thing. Kisans are in a different state of affair these days. I hope things will improve. So this is another great soul that lived amidst us not very long ago. Many who have rubbed shoulder with Shastriji have great remembrance. There are some old people who are still living and they do address these seminars. Some of those, All India Radio gives it in the evening today. If you get a chance, please listen to that. So I pay my respect to both for doing a human service for our nation to put us on a path where we are now. So let's celebrate and remember the ideals of both these. Thank you very much, please. Nice, not required.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take a group photo. You can come. Let's take a group photograph. That's a more comprehensive thing.